Yeah,
Let's talk more about Sweden against England now, because you're in Zurich for that one, and that you, of course, have been following the Lionesses even beyond this tournament as well. We both follow them quite closely. There was a hiccup in the first game against France where it just seemed like it was panic stations for England. What is going on? Even though France is France, which I needed to remind everybody, but Sweden as well. Sweden, almost like Norway, sometimes haven't exactly been at the peak of where we have seen Sweden before in the past. They now go up against an England Lionesses that still have their flaws for sure, but boy, do they have their strengths. They have the experience as well on what it takes to win at this stage, and they have a massive X factor in Lauren James, who seems to be loving her football once again after battling with injury this year. Now, Tom, looking at this matchup, how do you see it?
I mean, there's so many subplots to this. It's brilliant. So, I mean, on one hand, just talking about Lauren James, you've got her opposition as well. You've got Kaneryd from Chelsea, who's having just a wonderful tournament and is probably, at the moment, I say Sweden's most informed player. But she has developed her game on the wing by watching Lauren James and Chelsea training. So she used to be the one who kind of almost hugged the touchline a little bit to put the crosses in, but now she's cutting in a lot more and linking up with the midfield. And Sweden are really, really impressive. We saw the way they dismantled Germany, and they came through a tricky group. But look, so much of this talk and the build-up has been around whether Sweden deserve more respect, I think. So the players have touched upon it. That I think it was it Beth Mead, I think, after the match against Wales, Lucy Bronze's name-checked it again. And so, and now the Swedish players are talking about it themselves. Eriksson was talking about it yesterday, that they're kind of a bit... They're aware that people are talking up Spain. They're aware that people are talking up France, Germany, and England, but no one's really talking up Sweden, and they know about this themselves. And their recent tournament record is pretty damn good. So, you know, they're perennial semi-finalists, and they can always reach the Final Four. So, look, they are a really dangerous team. They have a brilliantly organised outfit. You know, they have this incredible ability to play on the counter-attack, but also they love throwing in crosses. They made the most crosses out of any team in the Euros so far. They had the most in-swinging corners as well, so you can see that they're definitely targeting the aerial battle. So they expect plenty of, tricky headers for Williamson and Carter and Hannah Hampton coming for those crosses. So look, that's where Sweden are. So they're quietly confident, I think. They're bubbling quite nicely. We heard from Asllani today. She too was talking about how, for so long, no one's really been talking about them. Perhaps it's now time to. So we'll see what happens. From a Lionesses' point of view, quietly confident, I think, is the right way of putting it. They've got this new phrase, which is proper England, which is what they're talking about their performances now. So it started off as New England, and now we're at proper England. So proper England is the new sort of buzzword in and around the camp. And it's the mantra they adopted when they beat Spain 1-0 back in February. And since then, they're looking for proper England performances. Now, it's kind of undefined, so it's up to the players exactly what they want it to be. But it basically means it's grit, it's determination, it's physicality, it's ruthlessness, and it's efficiency. So that's the sort of the things they'll be looking at when they play Sweden. But again, Lucy Bronze has talked loads about it. Leah Williamson's talked about it. Serena Vigman's touched on it as well. So this is definitely the mantra which is guiding them through this tournament. So we'll see. Look, it's going to be fascinating. Both teams know each other so well. You've got the WSL links all over the pitch as well. You've got teammates playing teammates. So there's going to be a few surprises, I think. But tactically, it's going to be fascinating. And honestly, it's going to go either way. England will be favourites, rightly so, but it's sort of like a 55-45 split of a game, I think. Sweden are serious contenders.
Well, you mentioned a couple of names there, both on Sweden as well as England. You kind of previewed the tactics as well. And as you said, it's such an interesting matchup because it's teammates playing teammates, players that know each other very, very well too. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how the tactics flow when they're going up against each other. For you, which tactical battles are kind of intriguing you right now, or which one are you going to look at first?
I think I'll tell you what, Leah Williamson's been asked a lot this week about Stina Blackstenius because obviously she knows her so well from Arsenal. And the Champions League winning goal, they play against each other in training. That's going to be fascinating. It really does depend on what lineup Sweden go for because they've chopped and changed quite a lot so far. I think we're kind of expecting them to go with Bjorn and Eriksson at the back. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they manage Alessia Russo, but also whoever ends up at left back playing Lauren James. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one to see how they sort of contend with her. Wales, they kind of stood off her, then went towards her, then stood off her, and then nothing really worked. Netherlands couldn't get near her, so it's on Sweden now to try and stop her. If you do that, you're going to stop a lot of England's strengths. But look, I think Blackstenius versus Williamson's a lovely little one to keep an eye on, I think, especially because of all this talk of physicality in the Swedish team and the aerial threat as well. So I think, yeah, that's probably the one to keep an eye on, I think.
All right, so a physical game, an exciting game, an intriguing game indeed with this one. I know you said it could go either way, but I'm going to have to squeeze a prediction out of you, Tom.
I think England will win, but I think it could go to extra time. Maybe even penalties. I think it's going to be really, really tight. They played each other twice this year. Both of them, played each other twice since the World Cup. Both of them were draws. A lot of talk this week about, the 4-0 semi-final back in Euro 2022, Bramall Lane. Everyone's distancing themselves from that, and rightly so. But Sweden's still going to be smarting from that because they were completely outplayed that day. So look, I think it's going to be in England, but I think it's going to be extremely tight, and I think it could end up going to the dreaded penalties.